Hi everyone, Amish Shah here from Tribe 500, and I'm back with the second video that you voted on, and it's called Self-Mastery. Thank you so much for being on this amazing journey with me and for voting on the two top videos that you wanted me to record for you. Now, this video, Self-Mastery, is way overlooked. No one really actually understands how important self-mastery, yourself, everything that's going on inside of you, how important that is before you can actually go out and try and manifest or create or generate revenue or create a following. It doesn't really matter. This is one of the most crucial components to being a tribal entrepreneur. So thank you so much for picking it and voting on it. I am actually very happy and very excited to shoot this video for you. Now, if you've seen the other video, the first video was on viral videos or viral content, how to make any content go viral that we've done with case studies in our business. Now, these videos are going to be very, very powerful and they're extremely packed with value. However, remember, if you want the big picture and if you want to really understand the whole entire thing about tribes and tribe building, be sure to check out the Tribe 500 live online incubator by clicking on the link below, because the spots are going fast and I want you on board. But for this video, let's get back to the point. Self-mastery. Why is this important? Why is self-mastery important? Well, as I showed you in my other video, I'm going to be going through a document that I created that basically just has some notes so that you can follow along with what I'm talking, and it helps me kind of communicate with you as well, because I went in there, kind of created a bunch of notes, and I'm going to be talking to you about them. So why is self-mastery important? Well, apart from all the marketing strategies and the traffic strategies and the technology and the tribal management and all the tools you need to be successful, all of that like outwardly stuff, the external stuff, which is written right here, the single biggest asset you've got on this journey is you, yourself. I always say the biggest emergency in life is you. It's not anything else. The biggest emergency is actually you. So yourself and the mastery of yourself is crucial. Deep down inside, everyone knows this is true. Yet for some reason, many of us, especially entrepreneurs and visionaries and creators, ignore our personal growth and our true selves. And instead, we kind of just look for external things. We focus on these things that we need, and we want to accomplish this, and we need this tool, and we need that tool, and we need this to help us, right? Which often sometimes actually ends up sabotaging us and sabotaging our success and happiness and fulfillment, and it ends up also hurting our success of our business or our movement or whatever we're trying to actually create, right? And then we have to think to ourselves, why does this happen, right? Well, maybe it's because we get distracted by all the stimulus that's around us and the demands that are around us and all these things we have to change about us. Maybe it's because we can't seem to see all the immediate benefits of self-mastery, of working on ourselves. What is that going to do for me? Or maybe on a deep subconscious level or even a spiritual level, we're afraid that what we're going to find when we go that deep is going to scare us. And we're going to start questioning what we really want and what we're really capable of. I always say that, once we kind of go down the rabbit hole, once we start discovering some of that, we start to question some of these things. And it's actually that you want to pay attention to. It's those things that you have to unlock, that you have to pay attention to, instead of just brushing it off and be like, oh yeah, whatever, it doesn't matter. Because for years, I was successful on a surface level. The money, the cars, the houses, the parties, the clubs, and the great success I had in my business. It was all awesome. And I worked on myself a little bit, but I had not attained that true self-mastery. None of what I had been receiving with the cars and the houses and the money and the business gave me any lasting fulfillment or any lasting happiness. In fact, if anything, it made me feel increasingly emptier. And because my reality at the time was pulling me further and further away from what I wanted, I felt like my true potential was missing. And it was pulling me away from what I really wanted. And I knew what I had wanted, but I was pulling myself away from it. And if you haven't seen the documentary, the mini documentary that I recorded, be sure to check out that link above. And it actually goes in and shows my journey a little bit deeper. So I'm not going to get into that too much, but I just want to explain. Before I was interested in self-mastery, and I dabbled in it a little bit, but all this business and all this external stuff and all this stuff started pulling me more and more and more away from it, instead of going closer and closer and closer away to it so I can actually accelerate it even higher. It's really interesting how that works, because it's only those who achieve the self-mastery of themselves are able to consistently envision and create things that transcend their own lifespans and their own mortality, that they can actually do things that they never thought was achievable. And that's where that power comes from. And you know what else? I wasn't the only one. A lot of the successful people around me were facing the exact same crisis. There was so much success, so much money going around, but very little self-mastery. And after all those years of personal experience and encounters with people in the same boat as me, I came to realize that the sheer importance of self-mastery comes down to basically 3 steps. The first one is, I just made a mistake. Okay. The first one is knowing yourself. Knowing yourself is important because this means being aware of and at peace with your purpose and what you truly need and what you truly want to be successful, what you truly want to be happy and fulfilled, and what you need inside of you. It also means knowing your strengths and weaknesses and being able to actually master your emotions so that doesn't get in the way, it doesn't cloud your mind. The process of getting to know yourself often happens gradually, doesn't happen overnight, and can manifest itself as a sense of doubt. It could manifest itself as discomfort that leaves you questioning certain traits of yourself and what you think about yourself. And that's sometimes very hard to deal with because you're bashing your ego. You're exploding your ego wide open. You're like, oh my God, that's me? And sometimes that's hard. That's very hard to deal with. And that leads to second step, which is honoring yourself. Once you know yourself, the next step is to take the action of that knowing by making the right choices and investing your energy on the pursuits and the people that are aligned with your true self, with who you really are. For example, if you know yourself to be creative and you derive the greatest pleasure out of, let's say, creating art, right? Well, you want to be leading a tribe or working on a business that allows you to express that desire and talent in some way, right? I know this sounds obvious, but it's amazing and tragic how many people choose to settle for things that they're able to do, but they aren't listening to their highest selves, that they aren't following that mission. They aren't actually tapping into that. It happens everywhere around us. In fact, it may be happening to you. It even happened to me. It happens to everyone because growing up, we don't know what we're trying to achieve. Some of us do. Some of us are tapped in, right? But some of us don't because we see these things from the outside. We start following these paths that we don't know are real. And then we realize, oh my God, I've been so far down this path, but I have to go back here. I missed this place. That's really what we have to focus on. Honor yourself. Honor yourself. And then step 3 is grow yourself. When you've begun honoring yourself, you'll likely start realizing that you're capable of even more than what you've ever imagined or even thought. Remember this. The purpose of this life is to keep growing and learning. It's like the essence of human experience. It's like you have to keep growing. Change is what life is about. And I'm going to be explaining what change is and how you can expand these 3 steps into a 6-step process that you can actually follow to figure out how to actually do this. It's very, very powerful. So remember, that's what life is about. It's about change and to experience what being a human is about. And so this final step of self-mastery, growing yourself, is the continuous investment in your personal growth and the optimization of your time and skills and conditioning your habits, mindset, thought process, and even your daily schedule. I'm going to be getting into some more details here in just a second with the actual practices that you can use. You see, next, what I'm about to touch upon, I want to share with you some of my favorite practices and insights for knowing, honoring, and growing yourself. And I promise you, If you adopt even just one or two of these insights, you'll find so much of the fog disappear that it's just lifting away from you. So much discomfort and doubt will start vanishing, and you will feel far more connected to that deep core part of you that makes you, you. It's a wonderful feeling. In fact, it's probably the single best feeling you can have as an entrepreneur and as a human being, is knowing that what you're doing is inside of you. And what you're doing and what you're trying to seek external is inside of you. And it's just a reflection of yourself. I talked a little bit about this in my documentary as well. If you haven't seen it, watch it. And if you want to just kind of brush up, watch it again. It's really powerful. Okay, so some of these self-mastery practices. First one, I have to say hands down, is meditation. Meditation is so powerful. It's great for reconnecting with yourself, finding answers from deep within yourself, and doing a gut check to see if you're on the right path. Now, I know a lot of people are like, meditation's hard, and I don't know if I can do it, and you know, I feel like I keep thinking of things. Well, I'm gonna give you the very simple way to meditate. It's really actually very simple. The basic way to meditate is just to sit in a room by yourself, quiet. Make sure it's quiet, in a place that you feel super comfortable, in a position you feel super comfortable. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter what you're doing. Just start with this. Get comfortable and feel comfortable. Once you're in that place, just start concentrating on your breath. Just notice your breath going in and out of your lungs. Now, if you're paying attention to that process of Now, obviously, I'm over-exaggerating the breath a little bit, but if you're paying attention to that breath, what happens to the mind is that it can't think of anything else. The only thing it can think of is the breath going in and out. Now, and through that process, and through that, if you just start practicing even for 30 seconds a day, 30 seconds, start there. Just do 30 seconds for a couple of days. Then from there, take it to a minute a day. Then from there, take it to 3 minutes a day. Then 5 minutes. And you will see that the power and some of the thoughts that do come up while you're doing this exercise are actually the things that you will start releasing. It's actually a release of stress. And new studies are starting to prove that meditation alters your DNA. It changes your thinking. It slows down your heart. It prevents heart disease. It prevents high blood pressure. It prevents disease in some cases. Meditation is powerful. The more time you have by yourself, instead of constantly bombarding ourselves with these phones and computers and all these outside things, take some time to be alone with yourself and concentrate on your breath. And then those thoughts that come up while you're concentrating on your breath, remember those. And don't think about them, just let them pass. And then go back to your breath. So simple. That's it. Now, as you start getting more advanced, you might want to start seeking other advanced forms of meditation, but start there. I have been meditating every single day. In 2014, I made it my goal to meditate every single day. I've missed only about 15 days this year, and that is amazing. So I've been meditating for 300 something days, this year. It's amazing. And last year I would kind of do it sporadically. I'd say 2013. It was like here and there, and I'd have some consistency, but nothing really solid. But once I started having consistency, like this world just opened up for me. I cannot stress how important that is. The next piece is journaling. Oops, I always do this. Journaling is a simple but powerful forgotten art. It helps you stay aligned and honor yourself by giving you an opportunity to go within and articulate your ideas and experiences. Now, most people are like, well, what do I journal about? What do I write about? Write anything you want. It doesn't matter. Write about what you want to create in your life. Write about how you're feeling right at that moment. Write about what thoughts keep coming up in your head and what's repeating, what are the patterns. Once you start journaling, you will realize that you're letting it go. You're letting it out of your mind and onto a piece of paper, and that process allows you to create. I like to journal about things that I want to manifest, things that I want to create. But at times when things are really bothering me and I feel like my mind is about to explode and I'm like, oh my God, it's just like the life is taking over me, I write those feelings out. I write what I'm trying to get out of my mind. If there's no one to talk to, if there's things that you feel like you can't talk to anyone about it, write them down. It gets it out of your body. It gets it out of your mind. And then the other side of that is all the positive things, all the things that you want to create. Write them down every night, every day. It's an exercise. It takes you not more than 5 minutes a day. You can, again, start with 30 seconds a day. Write 4 sentences down. Boom, over. Then the next day or the next week or the next month, start writing 8 sentences down, then 10 sentences, then start writing pages full of this information. And you will start seeing something amazing. You are going to start seeing that later on, maybe 3 or 4 or 5, 6, 7 months, a year from now, or whenever you start, you're going to start going back to some of these pages and you're going to read them and you're going to be like, wow, I wrote that down and I remember that, and like now it already came true. Or you might be like, oh my God, I was feeling that. Now that feeling is gone. It's so powerful. It's so powerful, especially with meditation. Combining these two, mind blown. Extremely powerful. The next one I want to talk about is binaural beats. Now, I know a lot of people have a weird inclination to binaural beats. It's not the most... there's a lot of like fake binaural beats out there, and so it's really hard to find some of the best ones. I go to a buddy of mine. His name is Neeraj Nayak. You can Google him. He has a couple of systems that are out there, and he produces these binaural beats himself, and they're very powerful. And there's tons of producers that have very powerful binaural beats. You can search YouTube for free ones as well. But make sure that they are real and they're legit. So do a little bit of research. It's a huge subject. But the easiest way to put it is there's a frequency that's played in your right ear, and there's a frequency that's played in your right and your left ear, and they're two different tones, and those two tones sound like one tone, and what it does is it actually syncs your left brain and your right brain together. And through those tones and frequencies, it actually does this. It bridges your brain and creates not the separation, but the union of the left and the right brain. And again, you just listen to it, you relax. You can do it before you meditate. You can do it after you meditate. You can even do it sometimes while you're meditating, depending on what it is. But I like to just listen to it and just zone out for about 10 minutes. And I used to do this every day. I used to do it every day. And then now I do it like a little bit less because I don't need it as much. It's one of those tools that I don't need every single day. Journaling, I like to do, I used to do it every day, but now I'm on like an every other day or every 2 day kind of schedule. Meditation still every day. That's one of those things that I have to keep. Binaural beats, I'd probably say I do it about once a week now, to be honest with you. But again, do it to what you feel comfortable with, you know? It's not like you have to do these things every single day. Do it with what feels comfortable with you. You'll start realizing like, oh, like I kind of feel like I want to get in that zone again. And so you put on the headphones and you just relax, you know, and the beats start playing. It's not like beats like ding, 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 ding. It's just tones. They call them binaural beats. And then all of a sudden you're just like, you go into this state of alpha brainwave state. And alpha brainwave state is a state which we create from, which we're so relaxed from. And our mind sinks. And we're able to manifest from that state. We're able to think of what we want from that state. And so it's very powerful what you're thinking while you're listening to this, because it becomes a reality. So very, very powerful stuff. The next piece I like to talk about is visualization. Visualization is so amazing, and it's one of those things that we don't do anymore. How often do you imagine? How often do you let your mind go and wander and create whatever it wants to create? Creative visualization is the key. Is the key to getting what you want. I practice it every single day in my meditations, after my meditations, sometimes before my meditations. This is something I do every day. I write something down that I want to create and I visualize it. I picture it. I taste it. I touch it. I smell it. I dream it. I embody every single emotion on it. Now think about this. When you're visualizing something and you can visualize and you can taste it, you can touch it, you can feel it, and you can put all your senses around it, and you attach an emotion of joy to it, and you attach an emotion of like, oh my God, I'm going to be so much better if I can do that. That process helps your brain connect. You know what they call those neurotransmitters? It helps them fire quicker, faster, so that whatever you're trying to manifest, whatever you're trying to create, boom, boom, boom. In the beginning, it's going to be like, boom, oh, I see it. Oh, boom, I see it. Oh, boom, I see it. Then all of a sudden, your brain's going to be like, boom, boom, boom. You start doing it every single day. Like, wow, okay. there's this exercise, again, I'm going to take you through that you can practice in every single day that will help you through this process. And then soon enough, your brain's just going to be like, you're going to be able to see these things, bang, 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 bang. And soon enough, you're going to be just in there. It's going to become a reality. You won't even know that. It's going to be a reality. You're going to be living your reality. That is how creative visualization works, that you just think about it, and all of a sudden it's like boom, 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 and it happens. It happens. These steps that I'm giving you, it's a process to manifest. It's a process to create. It's the process for self-mastery. Practice them. I promise you that these things work. Okay, then we have time management. Now, time management, I know a lot of us procrastinate against time. You know, people like to waste time. It's part of our nature. I do it all the time. I know you guys do it. We just don't want to do things, right? Procrastinating is like built into us. It's part of our brain process. So all we have to do is adhere to a schedule of some sort, and then we can master time. We can bend time to our will and have more than enough time in the day to accomplish what we want. The more you do creative visualization, the more that you meditate, and the more that you do journaling, those 3 things that I mentioned before, time becomes a thing of the past. We all don't have enough time in the day, but you become more fulfilled with the time that you have in the day. Like my calendar, for example. I know this looks kind of crazy, but look what I put. Meditation, gym, lunch, gym, meditation, lunch. And the reason why I write these things on my calendar on top of my meetings is because it's important. If I don't block out those times in my day, then you know what? I'm never going to be able to do anything. And meetings and things you have to do, put them onto your calendar. It's super important that you put them onto your calendar, because meetings and things you have to do sometimes get in the way of the meditation and the gym and the exercise and the things that you need. Time management is crucially important. And if you don't have enough time in the day, that's fine. Just make sure you get these building blocks in outside of the work and the tools and the research and all that stuff you got to do. This stuff is way more important. I can honestly tell you, the more time you spend doing this stuff, the less time you'll have to spend doing the tribal building and the business building and all that kind of stuff. I promise you, it's quite powerful stuff. The next one is eating healthy. This is self-explanatory. Garbage in is garbage out. I stay away from fast foods. No fast foods. I eat organic, wholesome, and local foods. And I suggest you do the same if possible. If you have a farmer's market, buy the foods and the organic foods from your local farmer's market. I take herbs and supplements every single day. Now, the herbs and supplements will be different for every single person, but I take Ayurvedic herbs, certain Ayurvedic herbs that keeps my digestion running. So every morning I'm going like clockwork. I know that sounds weird, but guess where 90% of the disease starts? In your gut. So if you're not going to the bathroom consistently every single morning, then the food is becoming rotten in your stomach, and it's creating toxins in your stomach, and that's leaking into your body, causing disease, causing like lethargicness and things like that, causing overweightness. All of that stuff is caused from not eating healthy and taking proper supplements. It is crucial to your health. I can't get into details on this call, obviously, but some of the herbs I take, one of the ones I take in the evening is called Triphala. Very powerful. That's the one I take every single day without fail. It's powerful. And I stay away from pharmaceuticals and over-the-counter kind of Tylenol and all that kind of stuff. Now, if you need it, you need it. Okay? If I have a pounding headache, or I stub my toe and it's hurting really bad, or I got like a cavity or, something like that, then I'm going to want to take like an ibuprofen or something like that to ease the pain off, right? But I stay away from everything else if at all possible. And the reason why is if you have something going on in your body and the doctor's like, here, take this pill, that pill is directly just going after that problem. It's not looking at your whole body holistically. Your body is quite literally one thing talks to another, talks to another, talks to another. If you're just talking to this thing and you're trying to attack this and you're not talking to the other things, then what's happening? You're messing up the rest of the system. Then when you mess up the rest of the system, the doctor's going to say, take this other thing. And now you have 2 things that you're taking. And now that you have 2 things, now it's creating this whole other thing. And you're taking 3. Now you're taking 3 pills. And that will lead to it just leads to its own pharmacology, and the doctors don't know what the hell's going on. Think about this. Pharmacy and pharmaceuticals are less than 200 years old. And our ancient system, like Ayurveda and acupuncture and some of these other systems that are out there, they've been here for thousands of years. There's a reason why we should be eating whole foods. There's a reason why we should be eating organic foods. There's a reason why we shouldn't be eating fast foods. It's all within. Garbage in is garbage out. The minute you start shifting your diet, the minute your mind changes, the minute your thoughts change, the minute you can start manifesting quicker, faster, easier. I promise you that. This is something I practice every day. Now look, don't get me wrong. I still eat pizza. I still eat French fries from time to time. I still eat ice cream. Everything in moderation. Everything in moderation. Okay? All right. Oh, one more thing. If you eat meat, now, I don't eat meat. I eat a little bit of like seafood every now and then. And every now and then I might take like a little bit of chicken, but that's very, very rare that I do. It's when my body feels like I need it, and that's the time that I'll do it. But make sure it's like grass-fed. Make sure there's no hormones in the thing. Make sure that it's non-GMO. Make sure that it's like free range and it's like a happy animal. A happy animal, once you eat it, creates happy body. But please, that is the most important thing if you're going to eat meat. All right? Let's continue here. Exercise. Okay, now, this is the crucial one. Exercise is hard to put in every single day. I don't do it every single day. In fact, I miss weeks at a time. I'm going to be completely honest with you. But I have a schedule. And I try to stick to that schedule. The time management, again, goes back to time management. And I go on I've been pretty consistent this whole entire year. For the first year, a year and a half now, I've been consistent. And I've missed about 3 weeks at a time. Yeah, it happens. The holidays come around, or, you're on vacation. Things happen. I get it. People have lives. But schedule, time management. Exercise is crucial. Dopamine and endorphins get released when you exercise. That makes you happy, right? It keeps your heart pumping. It keeps you going. It keeps you positive. Otherwise, you'll get stiff and tight like the Tin Man. That's what happens if you don't stretch and you don't just go for a walk every single day. Go for a walk every other day. Just move your body. Get the blood circulating. Do something that's going to get your blood circulating. That's going to just move. Move. That's it. Try to move at least 3 to 4 times a week, minimum. If it's exercise, you want to go to the gym and lift weights, you're still moving. If you want to do yoga, you can do yoga. If you want to go for a walk, but do something. Just do something. Get it moving. Because once you get it moving, then your blood is moving and your body is like circulating, and that makes you happy. Think about that. We're usually just kind of sitting there. We want to sit on the couch and watch TV. I don't watch TV, by the way. That's another thing I know a lot of people waste their time on. It's just mind-numbing. Sometimes we do, obviously, watch certain series and movies and things like that. But it is, for the most part, just mind-numbing, and you're just kind of just stiff. So yes, that's exercise. Again, another self-explanatory thing. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. Just do something 3 times a week, 4 times a week, just to get the blood moving. That's it. And the last one I do is called reading. Reading is crucial. I usually like to read before I go to sleep. I usually like to journal before I go to sleep as well. And the reason why is because it locks it into your brain. Whatever you're reading and whatever you're writing before you go to sleep, your brain, when you go to sleep, subconsciously starts creating steps to whatever that goal is. It actually starts creating steps to understanding what you read so that you start actually embodying it. And so a couple of my favorite books are Think and Grow Rich, Psycho-Cybernetics, are 2 great books that I absolutely love, that I can recommend to anybody that's watching this video. It gets you into deep self-mastery very fast. Think and Grow Rich and Psycho-Cybernetics. Awesome books. Check them out. There's obviously a whole slew of other books that I love too, but start with those. Absolutely amazing. All right, so let's continue on here. Okay, self-mastery obviously is a broad subject. It's not something we can cover in this one video. It's not a one-size-fits-all subject because it takes practice, and it works better for some people and it works worse for other people, but it's something that has to be done consistently. And what self-mastery is about is being in tune with your physical self, right? being in tune with your emotional self, being in tune with your intellectual self, and being in tune with your spiritual self. And if you can combine those four, that quadrinity, which is created by Hoffman, that he calls it the quadrinity: physical, emotional, intellectual, and spiritual. Those four, once you can be in touch with those four, it creates the ultimate self-mastery. It creates that being that you want to be. And so that's what it's about. It's really being in touch with them. You see, the key is just to start experimenting. You need to try multiple practices and paths and see what resonates with you and see what you're comfortable with and see what tools work for you, see what insights work for you, see what is actually going to fit for you. And, you know, take everything with a little bit and then you'll create your own practice out of it. That's what I've done. I've created my own practice out of it. And that practice has now become Project Yourself, one of the most amazing courses I've ever come up with. And it's something that I've just had to go through. My practice is to achieve what I wanted to achieve, to get where I wanted to go. So it's really powerful. I'm also going to be including a 6-step mindset process and mind map that you can follow, and you can go through this process. It's a video I recorded, and I gave a presentation on it at Awesomeness Fest in 2011. Great event. It starts around the 57 mark, actually. That's really interesting. And you can go to YouTube. You can go to my channel. My channel is youtube.com/The Real Amish Shah. It probably doesn't show here. No, sorry, it's Amish Shah for real. There you go. And it pulls up my channel. You can click on videos, and then you can go to the Awesomeness Fest 2011, and then go to the around the 57-minute mark and start watching there. If you want to watch the whole thing, you can as well. And then what you can see is I have this whole entire 6-step process, this little map here that I've created that you can actually follow, and then I take you down each of those steps, and then you can actually go through this exercise, follow the steps, create this exercise, this map for creating your perfect life. And it's so powerful. I've had so many testimonials about this, and again, it's free. You can check it out whenever you want. And that's it. That's really that's where I'm going to kind of end this video here. I really hope you enjoyed it. One way to really start tapping into this is to start reading, studying, and following the masters of self-mastery. If you'd like a fast track to self-mastery in business and personal development and everything that's encompassed, like I said, physical, emotional, intellectual, and spiritual, you'll find plenty of more tools and insights and practices inside the Tribe 500 live online incubator. I really hope to see you inside the live online incubator. Check it out. It's going to be an amazing thing. We have this whole awesome journey. We have tons of people that have joined already. I'm so excited to get this moving. It's a live 6-week online experience where we're going to give you everything you need, the tools, the strategies, the insights for mastering everything included in the A-Base formula. The A-Base formula is what I talked about inside of the PDF. If you haven't checked out the PDF yet, you can click on the link above that says documentary and PDF. Watch the documentary, download the PDF. It's the A-Base formula. Marketing, traffic, leadership, business tools, productivity tools, everything that I mentioned before this, everything is covered, the self-mastery tools inside of this Tribe 500 online incubator program. Everything you need to rally, lead, and grow profitable tribes and make a massive impact. So that's about it. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video that I'm going to be doing. Obviously, there's going to be more of these, I hope. And we are going to be starting this class January 5th, so be sure to be there. And that's it. Thank you very much for joining me, and we'll see you next time.